this video, I'm going to explain how you can install WordPress on your domain and your hosting account. It's actually a very simple thing to do. However, you need to be cautious about the installation process because a very wrong installation can make your WordPress sites be crippled or be, not having access to it in the long run. So this is what we are going to do. Now, the very first step, as you would see, the first tab says software setup. So you need to set up the directory where you are going to install WordPress. Now we have options here. We have to, the very first thing to do is to choose a protocol. Choosing a protocol means you have these options and you are supposed to choose one out of them. Now, HTTPS is the recommended protocol that you are supposed to choose, provided the domain that you want to use has SSL certificate attached to it. So I'm going to try and check if this one has, because if you check the last video, we installed it from InfinityFree, so I'm not sure whether they had the option of SSL certificate to what we have created. Now, if you choose HTTPS, that means your domain is not secure, and if you are using an unsecured domain, that means the site is susceptible to hacking and it is prone to a lot of security threats. So in this case, we are just going to select this. Now, if you choose the one that says www. It doesn't really have any other thing to do alongside. There is a way to add www to your site these days by using Cloudflare or any other zone registrar that you can make advantage of. In my own opinion, instead of stressing yourself, you just have to do this, because even if you type www.thedomainname.com, it's still going to go to the same place as this other one. So I've selected this, and so we have to choose a domain, which is what we have here. The only domain we currently have is lightstack.yours.com. If you have other domains, of course you can take advantage of, or you can use any of them, but in this case we are going to use this. Now, the version of installation is also very, very important. Currently, the WordPress version that we have is 6.8.1. There are previous versions that are also available, so it depends on the version that you want to install, because each versions are different. Maybe I should use an example of Facebook version back in 2012 compared to the basic version that we have in 2025. There is always going to be different. So based on the current technology advancements, I'm going to recommend that we choose 6.8.1. Now, there's an error here that says a trusted certificate was not formed. That is because it seems that this particular domain does not have SSL certificates alongside it, or perhaps the installation is still, the propagation. Yeah, hold on. I think there's an option here. Oh, awesome. Yeah, back to where we installed where we created the hosting and domain. It says free SSL certificate, so I'm going to see if it is possible to have SSL certificates here. So yeah, the domain is here. Let me just quickly copy it. Okay, and create order. So as you would see, all I have to do is just to click on free SSL certificates and paste the domain name, which is what I created with them anyways. Then click on create order. So there's an error that says custom SSL are no longer supported for free subdomain. Oh, that's a lot. So, well, all free subdomains have SSL by default. Oh, that's good. Well, I think it's this is throwing back an error because the propagation is still ongoing. So I'm going to just go ahead and proceed with the installation. All right. So the site's name, once you are done with this software setup part, the next thing to do is to create a site name. So the site name, we have my blog, site description, my WordPress blog. You can leave that and change it when you are in the WordPress backend. But for now, I'm just going to change it to Lightstack e-commerce training. All right, so I'm going to say the same thing here. All right, Lightstack e-commerce website training. All right, that's good. Then the administrator's name, username. So you want to add the admin username there. So in this case, I'm still going to put Lightstack as the admin username. All right, so your admin password is also very important. You might want to use an admin password that you will also remember, and a password that is strong enough to beat 65 over 100. So I'm going to go ahead and create one. Oh, that's good. All right, so I have created a password which I don't want you to see anyways. All right, so the next thing, and of course, let me also talk about security of your WordPress backend. Now, because WordPress is a very popular CMS, a very popular website builder, a lot of hackers always try as much as possible to find their ways into the WordPress backend, especially e-commerce sites. Why? Because e-commerce sites, they have what's it called now? Cards attached to them. They have payment gateways attached to them. So if you are not careful about how you deal with your security, you always have to make sure that you are being careful of it moving forward. Because if anybody try as much as possible to, and they have their way to your backend, that means the site is gone. So you have to do it to take care of your password very carefully, and your username also. Of course, there are other security tips that I will share with us in the long run, but of course the very first thing is to ensure that your password is secretive. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on from there. Now we have this option that says enable multi-site. This feature will enable multi-site option for your WordPress blog. There is another WordPress version, or there is another WordPress system that focuses on multi-site. Multi-site in the sense that you are not the only person using it, you are still giving orders, or probably you are creating different WordPress websites on a single site. So that is what multi-site is all about. Then disable WordPress cron. If selected, WordPress cron job, we have cron. Cron job basically means a system or a set of automation that you have put in place that runs consistently when you have given it. I mean, based on the set of instructions that you have given it. All right. So cron job is very important for WordPress websites. So in this case, we are just going to leave it as it is. These two options, I've installed quite a lot of WordPress websites. I have not had the chance or the opportunity to trigger any of this on. That's because my work does not go beyond the normal installation. All right. So the next thing is to choose a language. Depends on your location. We can choose any language of our choice. So in this case, I'm going to select English, of course. All right. So now the advanced options is very important, and this is why it is important. We have a database name. We have those options that says database name. Then we also have a table prefix. The reason why it is important is because suppose you are you have a cPanel, of course, and you want to run quite a lot of websites on that same hosting. Imagine you creating an account, imagine you creating a website, and the database name for this one is WP30, the other one is WP31, the next one WP32, moving from 30 down to 100. And when the time comes when you need to do something with the database, you wouldn't know which is which. Why? Because you are not using a set of unique naming convention. All right. So if you use the generic thing that WordPress is providing for you, you will just find yourself, penetrating into the database that is not for the website that you want to work on. So I have learned that lesson, and that is why I'm telling you right now that if you want to create a database, if you want to install WordPress, do not just let WordPress create its own database for you. I mean the database name. So you have to do something different. So in this case, I have a naming convention in my head based on the name of the website that I want to create. As you would see, this is Lightstack. Admin username is Lightstack. All I have to do is just to simply do the name that I need it for, which is also Lightstack. All right. Then for this table prefix, you can just leave that as it is. Okay. So the next thing is auto upgrade WordPress plugins. We don't want to do this. All right. Just leave it unchecked. The same thing. Oh, we have an error that says database name cannot be greater than 7 characters. Let me just do lights. Okay, light is good. All right. So auto upgrade WordPress plugins. You do not want to auto upgrade. Why? Because WordPress has a lot of plugins, and when you work on your website, you will use a lot of plugins. So suppose the WordPress version that you are using is 6.8.1, and they release a new version of WordPress 6.9 for an instance, and the plugins that you are using, so for instance you are using Elementor, as your page builder, which is also a plugin, and you installed Elementor version 3.30 or 3.30. I think that's the current version now. And after you have installed 3.30, after 2 months, 3 months, Elementor brought about a new update. If you put it to automated upgrade, the upgrade will continue on its own. I mean, the update will be done, and most likely it will break down your website. Why? Because there is going to be some compatibility issues with the PHP version or the WordPress version that is currently on your site, or the version of other plugins that are dependent on Elementor, on this Elementor that I'm talking about. All right. So you always have to be careful that you yourself will be the one to auto upgrade or to update your home plugins. And before you update plugins, you must have had a backup done. All right. So that in case anything breaks, it will be very easy for you to revert back to the previous version or to the previous backup. So that is why it is always very important that you do not check auto update WordPress plugins. Okay. Now we have auto upgrade WordPress plugins. Then the same thing for themes. We don't want to do any of that. Then we also have auto upgrade. Do not auto upgrade anything at all. Now the next one is select theme. Right here we do not want to install to select anything. So we are good with the default WordPress theme, and when it's time we are going to install the one that we want. Alright, so once you are done with all that, you make sure that you check everything over again, and once you have checked it, just click on install. Now the installation process might take a few minutes, and let's see how fast it will be. There is an error. Okay, it says the installation an installation already exists on this particular domain as per our records. So reinstall the application, please uninstall the existing installation. So it seems that there is already an installation. Oh, perfect. So exactly so now, yeah, I think this is worthy to talk about also. When you do that, and I mean after you have clicked on install and you are shown this error, just try to check the site first to be sure that the WordPress version, I mean the WordPress software has been installed before you go ahead and stress yourself about creating any other thing. So I have successfully created my WordPress, and yeah, this is where we are. So this is the front end of our WordPress website. I'm going to log in now, and to access your WordPress backend, this is what you need. Immediately after the end of the domain, put a / followed by wp-admin, wp-admin, then click on enter. So you will be showed your login form, which is where you put your username and your password. I hope this enters. Yay, we are in. Alright, so this is exactly what WordPress backend looks like. And I'm going to do justice by explaining the difference between the WordPress backend and the WordPress front end. What you are saying is where you take total charge and total control of the website, and what you are saying here is what users, I mean your website visitors, will see when they access your website using the link that you have given them or the domain that you have given them. Alright, so this is all about WordPress installation, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.